And what's up, YouTube? If you're new to the channel, I'm Joey Bags. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been here before, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little chit chat. If you've stayed on top of the channel, you know I've been testing out a lot of hardware. It seems that people really like hardware videos. Not so much the games and the software. I mean, some of you do, and I guess if you're one of those racers that actually races well, I'm not. People like to watch that, but more people tend to want to watch hardware. You know, that's where most people have the questions. You know, what's the best? What's the wheelbase to get? You know, I have X budget. What can I get in X budget? What can I get that works with my console? What can I get that works with my PC? What can I get that works with my console and my PC? You have all the questions, especially when it comes to hardware. And personally, I enjoy hardware reviews. I enjoy playing with the hardware. You know, the games to me, the Sims to me are kind of secondary. I enjoy them, but they're not my number one full concentration. It's like, okay, you know, I enjoy the Sims, they're fun, but I really like the hardware. So I have been on this mission to compare and contrast the PxN V12 DDL, which you guys all know I absolutely love. I also did a quick review on the V12 DDS, the 10 Newton meter wheelbase that's offered from PxN, that's available through Micro Center. Now the question always is, what's better? In the 5 Newton meter category, you've got Moza and you've got Fanatec. Fanatec has been in the game for a long time. Moza's a newcomer, and PxN is kind of like a, hey, guess what? I'm throwing my hat into here. They have actually they bought a lot of Mad Catz' IP, a lot of their, you know, so if you look at their old stuff, like the V9 and the V10, those are similar to some of the old Mad Catz wheels that were available in the past. But we've got Fanatec, who, them in their own right, they've got their ecosystem that they're constantly adding to. They have their 5 Newton meter CSL. Well, their recent is their CSL DD and the DD Pro, which is the PlayStation compatible 5 Newton meter. Then they have the boost kit, which takes it up to 8 Newton meters, and all it is just a power brick that has a little bit extra juice. They have their older CSL Elite or Club Sport 2.5 and Club Sport Elite. Those were older belt-driven systems, but they've now steered toward direct drive. Moza is direct drive, you know, bases, and they released they announced, haven't really seen it available for sale, the R3, which I will make a video. I did get some seat time with the R3 when I was at Rickmo Tech, which is a local Moza distributor to me. I did get some seat time and wheel time with the R3. It was nice. They've got their R5, their R9, their R12, their R16, and their R21. So they're giving you kind of like a full gamut of, you know, low power to high power with the R21. Fanatec, they've got their R5. Not the R5. The DD, the CSL DD, which is 5 Newton meter. The DD Pro, which is 5 Newton meter. Then, like I said, they have a boost kit to 8 Newton meters for both of those. Then they had their DD1, which I think was about 15 Newton meters or so. And then they had a DD2, which I think that took it up to 20 Newton meters. Now they're releasing a Club Sport, which looks like the CSL DD. It's just longer. let's see if I can, yeah, longer. Yeah, there we go, longer. And a DD Pro, which is the PlayStation compatible. Now, the thing is with that one, I believe the DD is 12 newton meters, maybe a little bit more, and the DD Pro PlayStation version is, I think, 15 newton meters. But they're saying the power output of that is equal to that of the DD of the podiums. So, then you've got other manufacturers like SimMagic, Ace-Tech. Those are all pretty much strictly PC based. Well, you know, Moza is PC based except for the R3. Fanatec, PlayStation versions with their DD Pro, and Xbox compatible wheels that you can use on their wheelbases, so that makes it console compatible. In the realm of console direct drives, there's really not much. So this is kind of why I was really excited about PxN, because PxN offered Xbox, PlayStation compatibility along with being, you know, along with it working on your PC. If you wanted to do anything like that with like a Moza R5, which I have it sitting here in front of me, you would have to use a box like a Drive Hub or a Resolution, either Resolution 1 or Resolution 2. And those items come with their inherent, you know, little quirks, because they're really just, you know, in-betweens. They're middlemen between the direct drive base and the consoles. So they'll have their own little quirks, and this game will work and this game may not work. The force feedback may be really good in this game, but it's a little shoddy in this other game. Which, quite honestly, if you look at it like that, you have a lot of that as is in the PC scope of it, because you'll have some wheelbases that the force feedback is great in certain sims, and then in other ones it's really not that great. You've got to go in and do some adjustments to the settings. Some stuff just works out the box. You know, so really what I'm circling back to is that hardware is that arena where there's always a lot of questions and people always are looking for answers. And me personally, I love hardware, so I like to kind of stick to reviewing hardware. So today's video is going to be just like my thoughts and feelings on the Moza R5 that I've been reviewing here. And also with the Resolution 2 that I ordered, just because I wanted to try it on my Xbox and PlayStation, because I have the PxN that works on those. So it's like, if I want to give it as close to apples comparison, they've got to be similar in power. So the PxN V12 is 6 newton meters. The Moza R5 is 5 newton meters. I need to order that the CSL DD Pro from Fanatec already. And I'm going to get the 5 newton meter version. I'm not going to get the 8 newton meter hop up. I really don't see a need in having to get that. The cool part is that if we're looking at a budget aspect of it, so the Moza R5 bundle is $499, which is a great price for a very competent wheelbase. Depending on the wheels that you get, well, if you get the R5 bundle, you're going to get the ES wheel. Not a bad wheel. Not as, in my opinion, and my wife's opinion, because I wanted to get someone else's, you know, thoughts and feelings, and she was right there. In my opinion, the ES wheel, it does not have the kind of build quality that the PxN wheel does. That's hands down. When you add in, let me see if I'll disconnect this real quick. Now, I did add in the GT Formula wheel for the Moza. And while that really didn't change much of anything, I also have the KS wheel. So, the ES wheel is okay. It's not as good as PxN's. The cool part, is that at least with Moza, they recognize that maybe people want a different style of wheel, and they made this cool little adapter plate that's super inexpensive. I mean, you can get this, I think, for like $50 or so, maybe even less. And all you have to do is take the 6 bolts around the hub of the wheel, swap it out, and now you have a GT style, you know, yoke slash butterfly. And that's a cool option, especially on an inexpensive wheelbase. PxN doesn't offer that. The closest that we have on PxN is their V12 seat. I'm looking up at the box because I literally have it right there. Is the V12 CW, which is a 13-inch wheel, very nice wheel, nice and sturdy wheel, and the button box that comes along with it, which has 2 excellent rotary encoders that are simple buttons where one side is up, one side is down, and what is it, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16. I mean, you're looking at like 18 buttons that you can customize. Woo! God, that was bad. Yeah, so 18 customizable buttons that you can go ahead and put whatever you want, you know, making it easy to you, on top of the magnetic shifters, which are awesome, and the piezoelectric optical dual clutch paddles. So, I mean, that's super awesome. So, I'm back, and I wanted to add something in. I was listening back to the hour-long video I was doing when I realized I'm going to add this in to around where I'm talking about the wheels available for PxN. I forgot to mention that PxN is using the NRG-styled quick release, the same one that Moza uses. So when I'm talking about there's no wheels from PxN available, first-party wheels directly from PxN, only that 13-inch wheel that I'll mention later on is available. But the cool part is that because it uses the NRG style quick release, you can use any wheel that connects to your PC on the PxN. Now, that's the part that kind of sucks because it's got to connect to your PC. It can't, you won't be able to use it on console. So on Xbox, dang it. So on Xbox or PlayStation, you're not going to be able to use it. It's strictly on PC. And that kind of sucks. Oh my god, I'm a mess here. I'm a hot mess. And I'm 20th. So, you know, that's part that kind of sucks. First party, there's no wheels. But since it uses the NRG styled quick release, you can go ahead and use quite a few different aftermarket wheels. So if you wanted to use a Moza wheel like the KS, all you would have to do is get the universal hub from Moza, connect that to your PC, and you can use it on PC. If you wanted to use a GSI wheel, you can easily go ahead and do that if you have the correct quick release on it. 3D Wrap has a Voda line of wheels that look super cool, or you can make your own DIY. So when I'm talking about wheel rims available, I'm talking about first party from the same manufacturer as the direct drive base. So, you know, Fanatec has wheels available. Oh my god, can I do... Oh my god, how do I reverse on this? So, Fanatec has their own wheels available. And Moza has their own wheels available. And I'm pretty sure that those will work on console with the correct base. Oh my god, I'm gonna get lapped. So, you know, in that you have options, and that's what I was talking about. it was first party. So I'll return you back to your previously scheduled video. Comparison, the ES wheel, it does have a lot of buttons, but it doesn't feel as quality. Uh, if you can hear me, I'm pulling the paddles right now, and it's just two paddles, and it's kind of meh. I mean, it doesn't give you that same clunk as the PXN. Now, on the other hand, Fanatec, that GT wheel looks kind of cool. Should I say the Gran Turismo specific wheel looks kind of cool. Has a lot of buttons. I think it has two additional funky funky switches. So it's like a 8-way thumbstick that also spins and pushes in. So that gives you a ton of customization also. But like I was saying, so when you're looking at budget, the Moza R5 seems to be like that top tier. Its shortcoming is that it's PC only. So for $499, you're getting a pretty competent wheelbase, especially if you're coming from like a G920, 923, maybe an older G25. If you're coming from anything Thrustmaster, and the Thrustmaster fanboys I know are going to get ass hurt because, you know, I'm not saying, oh, Thrustmaster's the best. Garbage. So it's like if you're coming from anything Thrustmaster that's not their DD, they're overpriced, 818 DD. It's definitely an improvement. Is it Fanatec, SimMagic, Acertec, VRS, who else? Leo Bodner, who does the Alpha Mini or the Alpha Simicube. If you're not going to like those super high end where you're looking at $1,000 just for the wheels, you know, the R5 is actually a pretty good value for what it is. It comes with these two, with their SRP Lite pedals. Not bad pedals, but they're a little mushy. I'm not a fan of the springs that they have on it. I feel it could have some more resistance. PxN's pedals are 10 times better. They have more adjustability. They look very similar, but then if you were to put the Fanatec CSL pedals, like their plain regular Hall censored pedals, along with the Moza Hall censored pedals and PxN's, honestly, other than maybe the fact that I think Fanatec's are like a raw stainless, you know, metal with maybe a little black accent, the construction looks very similar. Moza and PxN's, I think PxN's skirting that line of they just straight copied the homework, but it works, and they feel a lot better than Moza's stock pedals. Moza does have a brake performance kit. I believe there is also one for Fanatec. PxN did the same thing. I mean, they kind of, I guess, looked at Moza's playbook and said, hey, you know what? Let's do the same exact thing. I kind of like Moza's. No, I'm sorry. I kind of like PxN's better. It's much easier to install. You can look back at another video I did just before, I think it was just before this one, or maybe one before. You know what? Maybe I haven't even put that one up. Either way, you can look back. I'll have a video with the pedals, and I show off the SRP Lite's performance pedal kit, the performance brake kit. And it's really just a stiff spring, stiff elastomer in a little setup where it bolts, part of it bolts to the pedal, and the other just clips into the pedal base. And it just gives you that resistance using the spring and the elastomer. PxN did the same exact thing, except they made theirs self-contained. That's super easy. You just squeeze a little bit and it pops right out. Not something that will happen accidentally at all, but you actually have to purposefully take it off. It's not going to just come off, but you don't have to undo screws, which I think is amazing. I'm seriously considering now reaching out to PxN to see, hey, can I order 2 more of those so that way I can change out the springs and elastomers to something a little softer so that I can use that on my clutch and on my accelerator, because I like resistance on my accelerator. I feel it gives me a little bit more smoother travel, and it it allows me to work that pedal a little bit easier than if something that I'm just slamming, like, oh, damn, hold on. I like the resistance. The resistance makes it easier for me to work that pedal better and with more precision. The clutch, on the other hand, the clutch is a clutch, and it's a fake clutch. It's not a real clutch. It's not hydraulic. It doesn't have a bite point, so I'll just make it stiffer to kind of make it stiffer. I'm a huge detractor of clutches on sim racing because it's not real. There's no way you slice it unless I'm paying $2,000 plus for Simicube's active pedal. There's nothing that's going to give me any kind of realism from that at all. So, whatever. Now, 3D Wrap, it's an Italian company. They do a lot of 3D accessories and elastomers for the different pedal sets. They have this kind of cool setup for Moza pedals that I want to try out. It gives you uses springs and some 3D printed parts that attach to the pedal that give you a different feels on the accelerator. So it's something like you can have a nice linear, progressive linear pedal feel, or it gives you like a ramp up. It's got a few things. It looks kind of cool. If you look at how it works, it's like, oh, okay. And they do something similar for the clutch where it's got a point where the way it ramps up, it's kind of like giving you to a bite point, and then after that it just falls off a cliff, kind of similar to how a real clutch is. You press it down until you get to that bite point, and like that's where you keep it, but then after that that's it, it's gone. So Moza's not bad for what it is and for its pricing, but you can't use it on console. That's a big deal for me. Like I said, you have options using Drive Hub or the RAS solution from Brook. That's the route I decided to choose. And while, it's not, oh my god, amazing like it is on PC, it's good. You probably have people that have already commented like, oh my god, it's not the same, it's bad. You know what? You're getting your direct drive base that wasn't meant to work with a console to work on your console. These are things that you kind of have to understand. There's going to be shortcomings coming into it, and you just kind of have to reconcile that in your brain that, hey, it's not going to feel the same. It's probably not going to work exactly the way I'm expecting it to work because it wasn't designed, or should I say the wheelbase wasn't designed to do that, and now you've got this third-party middleman that's kind of like, that's handling the interaction between the console and your direct drive. So you just got to understand that and kind of let it go with how it is, It may not be exactly what you want, but at least you're able to use it. So that's why, in my eyes, I see it as I'm doing something that it wasn't really supposed to, so even if it's not the absolute best peak experience, it's better than nothing. PxN, I honestly can't say anything bad about PxN. Other than they just don't have enough stuff coming out, and their little brochure that they gave out at the Gamescom earlier the year and at Attic 2023 showed a bunch of stuff that I'm just like, guys, please release it. I want it. They have load cell pedals. Oh, I want that so bad. The pedals that are bundled with the V12 DDL, you can only get them bundled with the V12. Honestly, if I could have gotten these pedals with the DDS, the 10 Newton meter, I would have probably kept the 10 Newton meter wheelbase. And because these pedals are phenomenal. I love these pedals. The desk clamp is actually not bad at all. It's a little bulky, but depending on how your setup is, it may end up working for you, in a positive. They don't include a shifter. They have their A7 shifter. That's right. A3 is the junky pedals that comes with the V10. Do not buy them. They suck. Don't buy the V10 too, because that one kind of sucks too. The V9, don't. But the V12 is on point. Their A7 shifter, It's not bad. Rather equivalent to the Logitech shifter. It's not bad. It doesn't have a. It connects. Well, actually, the cool part about the A7 shifter is that it's a DIN connector, and it gives you options that you can use it with USB to connect it directly to your PC. Uh, RJ12 jack, I believe, is on the back of this thing. So you connect it to the PxN wheelbase and you can use it like that. Or they have an additional Thrustmaster DIN connector that you can connect to a Thrustmaster wheelbase. That's super cool. I mean, so it's like, oh, okay. I mean, the Thrustmaster TH8A, that's awesome. It's also almost $200. And then they have that lower grade one, but if you can get the A7 that's like $60, maybe less depending on where you find it, that's another option, and it'll work with your Thrustmaster stuff. That's kind of cool. So PxN, honestly, their wheel feels great. They have a lot of buttons. That one wheelbase works with your two consoles and your PC, which is a bonus. Now, there are caveats with that where on PlayStation, using the N5, this little wireless dongle that they give, you know what, I've got it right here. Got it right here, little. Oh, I got it upside down. Yeah, so this little N5 dongle, that's what allows it to wirelessly connect with the PlayStation 5, and it works. It works and honestly feels exactly the way it does on my PC. It just has this really weird issue where it just disconnects. And it's kind of a random disconnect, too. I mean, I've played for an hour or two straight without an issue, and then randomly it just disconnected. Then the car just starts going like this, which if you're just putting around, I guess is fine. You can just unplug the dongle, plug it back in, you're good to go. Honestly, if you were in a race and you were trying to do something important, or you were in, you know, I guess a league race or something, I could see where that would really suck. So it's one of those things where it's doing something that it doesn't really, it's not supposed to do, kind of, sort of. You know, there's really no direct drives for consoles. So because you have this extra functionality, there may be some drawbacks to it. So I understand this, at least now. So I'm kind of, I accept it. Not that I'm okay with it, but I accept it. I've already reached out to PxN quite a few times about this. I really haven't heard anything back. So, I mean, it is what it is. I use it. I don't play my consoles that often, but when I do want to play them. So, it's one of those things where I'll let it go just because I really don't use it that often, especially on my consoles. I'm not often on my PS5, and I'm not often on my Xbox. I've been using it more recently, mainly because Random Call Signs video from a week back or two, where the new Gran Turismo 7 update, he was like super enthusiastic about it. I watched this video and he kind of amped me up. So shout out to Random Call Sign. If anybody wants to tag him, you know, like, bro, you know, you made me want to actually go update and play the game. Like, I had the game sitting there. I hadn't touched it since I bought it sometime at the beginning of the year. And I started playing it. I did the licenses. It was like, oh, cool. You know, I started enjoying it. Xbox, Forza, WRC, EA WRC 2023. Really was just me bandwagoneering on the Forza train for YouTube videos. And that's why I was really playing it. Other than that, I played COD mostly on my Xbox. So I wasn't a Forza fan. I've always been a Gran Turismo fan. So it really wasn't a thing, but it's like, hey, you know what? I can use it. Now, on Xbox, I don't have the disconnect problems with the PxN. The PxN is rock solid on Xbox. Go figure. So, and the issues that I was having with like games like Assetto Corsa Competizione on Xbox, I was able to sort out. Like one of my viewers had reached out like, hey, you know, this is what I ended up doing. You know, I reached out to PxN and they told me do this, do that, and it worked for me. And I'm like, okay, you know, my pedals weren't working, this and that. Let me try it. I tried it, you know, after a few tries and changing controllers. It worked. I was like, hot damn. And force feedback, everything was great. Forza, out the box, worked well. EA's WRC 2023 out the box worked well. Oh my god, the force feedback was that. Actually, the force feedback on that game was better than it was on the PC version. And I was like, oh, I would so buy this game just because it felt and handled so well. Forza Horizon 5, I played it every so often on a controller. On the wheel, it was a little weird. Mainly, I didn't do a setup with the wheel at all. I just kind of went, you know, default. And that's the thing with like some of these games, especially console on direct drive or a wheel, you kind of have to do a little bit of setup. You know, you've got to go in and change some settings around, and you know, because it's just these games are catered to controller players, and the game's catered to work with a controller. So when you're using not a controller, you've got to do some changes. Once I did the changes, the game felt great. I was like, oh, okay, actually, this is kind of fun. I found myself enjoying driving around in the rally car. Go fig. So, you know, the PXN is kind of popping. Damn, you know what? I'm blabbering on here. Facecam. Let's go into... I've got some Gran Turismo loaded up here. So, let's go... Let's see here. Okay, there we go. And you can hear it in the background. So we're good to go there. Let me get into my driving position. Yeah, I had to move up a little bit because the way I set up the pedals on the Moza is different than it was on on my PXN. So now I'm changing my source to the TV here, so then that way I can go ahead and let's do some PlayStation. Oh, you know what? Let me check these volumes. I don't want to kill your eardrums with... Yeah, I think that is good. I think that's a good level. I'll raise my... You know what? I'll take it down a little bit more. Alright, hopefully that's not too low now for you guys. Alright, let's switch sources. Alright, world map. Oh, let me lower this a little bit. And I'm just going to do a custom race. I'm in the R8 GT3 car. I've been having a ton of fun driving the Tsukuba circuit. Custom race. Let's see. Oh, I think my TV's volume is up there too. There we go. Hopefully you didn't get that weird echo. Here we go. Yes. 10 laps. Alright. Number of car. Alright, cool. I think we're good to go. Yeah, so like I was saying, the PxN base is awesome. I don't get the issue. I don't get that disconnect issue with Xbox. I was able to fix the issue with ACC and the pedals, you know, not working or it reverting back to controller instead of wheel. So, you know, there was that. The only game that I really have an issue with is Dirt Rally 5. And I think everybody has an issue with Dirt Rally 5 because it's got a it's not limited to the PXN wheelbase. It's different wheelbases where people don't get any force feedback, or not detailed force feedback. I get like the weight from the wheel and the century spring just a bit, but I'm not getting that fine road detail. So that's a little unfortunate. I also don't play Dirt 5. I've only played it to really test it, so, you know. Oh, yeah, don't judge me, don't judge me. So I really don't play Dirt 5, so it's not that big of a deal. And on PC, everything... You know what? I don't know if it works on PC, because I haven't even tried it. Because like I said, I don't play it. Damn, I'm just murdering these fools. So, the PXN... I mean, honestly, if you're listening to me go on and on about it, and I keep getting questions and comments on the videos, you know, what's my pick, what's my pick? I really like the PXN. The problem with PXN right now is that it's almost impossible to find. Like, everybody keeps, you know, it's sold out on their Amazon store. You can possibly get it from AliExpress, but they want to charge like $100+ in shipping on AliExpress. You know, like, nah, bro, that's okay. You know, I paid $519 plus tax for this on Amazon. Damn, I'm so sorry, guys. Don't judge me on this, okay? No way am I going to pay that much in shipping. You know, I'm going to end up having to pay tax and shipping, and nah, that's okay. So it's like, you know, if we're going to take into account availability, you know, Moza's there. You can order the R5 bundle. Damn, I mean, they have the R5 bundle on Amazon. It's overpriced. The vendor on Amazon, I think it's called Audio Video or something like that, homie is gouging on that one. So the R5 bundle is $4.99, you know, plus tax and shipping. He's charging $569 before tax and shipping. So it's like, bro, you know, you can order it directly from Moza, or you can hit up any of the resellers. Not a sponsored video. I don't have any ties to them other than the fact that their shop is 20 minutes away from me here in South Florida. But shout out to Rick Motech. They are a authorized reseller of Moza equipment, and they have their website. They've been in the game for a very long time. Very, very long time. So you can go ahead and order it from them. They have... I've been to the shop. I've seen the stock. They have everything. They have the whole Moza line in stock. So if there's anything you want to get, they'll have it. They can ship it out. Or you can just order from them or from any other number of resellers. So it's like, if it's difficult to get the PXN, I guess Moza would be okay. Now the problem goes that if you're getting the PXN, now okay, so now we'll discuss, because we got to get into the into the CSL DD Pro, but we'll go with the whole why would you even be looking at like the PXN? While the PXN is a affordable wheelbase comparatively, if you look at the bundles from like Moza, the cheapest one $4.99. And this is a recent thing for their R5 bundle, which is the 2-pedal set, desk clamp, wheel, and base, $4.99. Fanatec has they lowered the price on their CSL line. Well, on the PC version of the CSL. So the CSL DD, you can get that bundle with a pedal and wheel, I think, for $3.99, I want to say. Maybe I think it's $4.99. I would have to double check on the pricing. I know it's cheap, but it's for PC, and if you get an Xbox compatible wheel, you could use it on Xbox. You know, Fanatec might be a better option for you. if you're looking at if you need Xbox compatibility. If you need PC and Xbox compatibility, Fanatec might be what you're looking at, because you can get the 5 Newton meter CSL bundle. I think they have a ready to race bundle that's inexpensive. Moza has their R5. The most inexpensive is their R5 bundle. That's PC only. PxN, on the other hand, they have their bundle, which is $519, which is a little bit more, but it works on both consoles along with PC. You're not getting that with the other ones. And now, if you do want to add that functionality, console compatibility, to either Fanatec or Moza, for the Moza, you have to add in about the $100 or so for a resolution. I would recommend the resolution 2 over the 1, just because the 2 works with PlayStation. The resolution 1 does not. Drive Hub, I don't even know if you can get those anymore. That is compatible with PlayStation and Xbox. So you got that option. So you're looking at $499. Throw on an extra $100. You're kind of already in PxN territory, or actually a little bit more than PxN territory. Now, if we're talking about Fanatec, okay, so their ready to race bundle is not that expensive. If you added if you want Xbox compatibility, all you have to do is get an Xbox compatible wheel, which I think they may have a CSL bundle, a ready to race bundle that has an Xbox compatible wheel, so you're fine there. If you want PlayStation compatibility, that's where it all goes to shit. PlayStation compatibility, that's where it goes to shit. Why? Because PlayStation requires a security chip to be built into the hardware. So with PxN, they kind of get around it using that little dongle. They use the little dongle. Fanatec, they have the chip built into their wheelbase. Microsoft requires a security chip to be built into the wheel. So with Fanatec, you can get an Xbox compatible wheel and work and use it on any of their bases, and you get Xbox compatibility. But you won't get PlayStation. Now, the cool part is that if you got the CSL DD Pro, which is the PlayStation compatible wheelbase, you can get an Xbox compatible wheel, and now you've got both systems. The problem with that is that the CSL DD Pro, the 5 Newton meter bundle that comes with the wheel, pedals, and the base, is $780 shipped with tax. Quite significantly more than PxN or Moza. I have a really hard time paying that much for a 5 Newton meter wheelbase that's PlayStation compatible, and then I'm gonna have to drop another, I think their most inexpensive Xbox compatible wheel is the McLaren GT3 wheel, and that's another $199. Let's call that $200. So you're looking at almost $1,000 to be able to play on console, on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC with your 5 Newton meter wheelbase. And we're not even talking about the upgrade kit, which is another $150. So quite honestly, that's why I have a hard time with Fanatec, just because it's so much more money. They're passing on that extra that they're spending on the PlayStation compatibility. They're passing that cost off onto the customer, which I guess, you know, in a business sense, it's what they have to do. They can't eat that cost, but it sucks. You know, I don't want to pay almost $800. Yeah, you've been in the game for a long time, but quite honestly, if you look on Reddit, you look on, you know, the message boards, the forums, the quality control on Fanatec is, you know, it's still up there, but it has lowered a bit. And you've got people like, oh, my CSL is fried, or, you know, I'm getting issues. It's getting clunking. You know, the whole wheel the drive shaft disconnect issue where you got to go in and tighten the fourth place. You've got to go in and tighten that little clamp that they give you. You know, it's rather inconvenient. We'll run this race again just because I like this race. So it's like, you know, do I really want to pay $1,000 for all that? Like, I'll end up having to pay the $1,000 because I want to bring it to you guys. I know it's, you know, it's hardware reviews that everybody wants to know, and everybody has different questions, and they're videos from, you know, a year or two back that may not answer the question that you have right now about it. So it's something that I want to bring to the community, but $1,000? That's kind of hard to, you know, be like, oh, yeah, no, it's $1,000 for just extra compatibility, where PxN, I'm not paying that much, and even Moza adding in the resolution or the drive hub, I'm not paying that much extra for. So, you know, it is what it is, and that's kind of draws, you know, the hesitation of me really recommending. Like Fanatec, I have a really hard time recommending unless you've got the money. And honestly, at that point, if you got the money, get something better. I mean, well, if you have a rig that can handle it, because that's another thing. I'm not going to tell you go get like a Podium DD1 that has PlayStation compatibility if you're running on like a desk clamp or, you know, a cheapo rig, or, you know, something like an Amazon special. You know, don't do that. You're gonna hate life. And, you know, but if you've got a nice 80/20, 80/40 rig, you know, some of the, you know, extruded aluminum rigs, then yeah, you may want to get something a little bit nicer. And if you're on console, quite honestly, I would rather play Gran Turismo and Forza on a controller, because that's what it was designed for. You know, what no one takes into account is that when these games get developed, they're taking into account the large majority of gamers that are playing on a controller. They're sitting on their sofa playing on a controller. You know, not a lot of gamers are going to invest in a wheel or a racing rig or even a wheel stand or anything. A lot of people are playing with a controller, and that's where you can feel this is what it was aimed at. So if you're going to play Gran Turismo 7, I mean, unless you're like Super GT and Aerith and, you know, those streamers that are, you know, stream Gran Turismo, Forza for hours on end, you know, and they're playing the multiplayer hardcore, I don't, you know, play with a controller, really. I just happen to have my rig that is console, you know, I happen to have my rig here, and the wheel that, you know, the wheelbase that I chose happens to be console compatible. You know, it was like one of the things so that I looked for is like, oh, I can use it on my PC and my consoles, so why not? But after having it, I can tell you it's not something that I'm going to recommend should be like on the top of your list. If you're on a console and you play in your living room on the sofa, bro, don't even waste the money. Excuse me. You know, just stay playing on the controller. You know, if you happen to have the situation that allows it, then I guess maybe go ahead and you can consider it if you're going to use it on like a PC also. Because I would not get a wheel. I wouldn't get an expensive wheel to just use on the PlayStation. Like a secondhand G29, you'll be more than happy. Way more than happy. You know, or a secondhand G920, or even a refurbished unit directly from Logitech. You can get those for as cheap as $200 plus shipping. And at that point, with an inexpensive wheel stand, and you're good to go. There's no need to drop money in expensive direct drives. They're loud. That's the one bad part. You know, maybe you might want to look at one of the belt-driven systems, Thrustmaster, because the Logitech gear-driven stuff is just freaking loud. and the DD is not. But until Moza decides to finally drop the R3 out into the public for people to buy, that's going to be at $399, and that's 2.9 peak torque newton meters. It's an awesome little direct drive. It will work with the ES wheel and with the adapter that I have, the KS wheel, like all of other Moza's wheels will work with it. That's going to be awesome. But until that happens, you know, just go about it as inexpensively as you can if that's what you want to do. But really, I wouldn't tell you go out and buy a rig or an expensive direct drive or anything like that just to play, you know, Gran Turismo or ACC on console, because really these are games that are more aimed at controller players. You know, yes, you can play ACC on your PC, and at that point, yes, that is much better, way more toward the side of simulator than Simcade on console. And there we go. I've also touched on now my issues with Fanatec, where I want to love them, but that pricing just, I can't get past it. That's actually honestly the biggest deal breaker for me. Now with their Black Friday deals, they've actually had some awesome stuff coming out. Like their deals have been great. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna catch the CSL DD Pro on sale, and that will solidify me ordering it. Now whether it will solidify me recommending it, that's a different story, but definitely it will solidify me ordering it so I can have it for the channel for you guys to take a look at, and I can give you my honest impressions of it. The R5 from Moza, I'm really liking. Whatever issues people may have with the Resolution 2 and how it works, that's whatever issues they were having. For me, I don't have any of those issues, or if they're present, they're not noticeable, because it hasn't diminished my enjoyment of these titles using it. So that is what it is. PxN, I love PxN. I can't even front. Everything with PxN I have paid for, I have bought. It's all my own money. Actually, all this stuff is my own money, so there's no companies that are sending me anything. I wish they would, but they're not sending me anything to go ahead and give them positive reviews on. This is just strictly me. I'm also not being super nice to them or, you know, biased, so that way they'll be happy with what I say and send me more stuff, because quite honestly, as of this morning, I think I have 152 subs. They're not listening to me. They're not even watching my videos. You guys are watching my videos. You searching for specific things like, oh, what do I, you know, what about this, what about that, and you come across my videos. And I greatly appreciate all of you guys who watch and sub and comment and ask questions. You know, I appreciate that, but I can guarantee you that nobody at Moza, nobody at PxN, nobody at Fanatec, nobody at Next Level Racing, and I really want them to watch my videos, nobody anywhere that in any standing at any of these companies are watching my videos, so I'm not even on their radar. So I am going to tell you exactly what I think, and I'm not going to hold back. And quite honestly, you know, there's people that like to nitpick, or they're just people that want to just be Debbie Downers. I'm not. You know, I'll tell you, it's a, you know, it has some shortcuts, or should I say some shortcomings, but there's things to expect. Not everything is perfect. If everything was perfect, everything would be boring, you know. So you get the items, you know, get your drives, get your wheels, get whatever it is you want, and try it out. And if you don't like it, return it and go get something else. You know, do the research before you spend your hard-earned money. You know, this is actually, you know, part of why I do what I do. You know, I'm doing most of the research for you. I'll get it. I'll waste my hard-earned money. I'll make the video. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about it. And if you want to go ahead and take my thoughts and opinions into account and then try out the equipment and then decide whether you want to keep it or return it. Or you can, you know, come back and tell me, Joey, you're full of shit. You're a fucking liar. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. And I bought this and it's a big pile of shit. Dude, you can go ahead and do that. And that's your opinion. You're free to do that. But you can also go ahead and be like, wow, you were right. You know, I'm seeing things the same exact way you are. You know, my use case is very similar to yours. Ah, damn it. You know, my use case is very similar to yours. So, this is working for me. Come on. Oh, this sucks. You know, so you can tell me my use case is similar to yours and it worked out for me too. I'm so happy. And you know what? Awesome. I'm glad I was able to go ahead and get this to work for you or give you the information you were looking for. But yeah, so no one's paying me for anything. This is me, you know, I'm not being nice so that the way they send me stuff. If they want to send me stuff because they like my honest reviews, hey, awesome. If not, guess what? I'm still going to probably go and buy it, and I'm going to give you my honest review. And I know I've probably been rambling for like more than a half hour, probably 40 minutes or so. So let's get back to this screen so I can see exactly what's happening. Alright. So, like I was saying, guys, the Moza R5 is awesome. It's got its little quirks, it's got its little issues. It's not meant to be used with console, so you've got to take that into account. I'm using it with a resolution, so there's going to be some inherent quirks. It is what it is, really. The PxN, that's all around there awesome. But the same deal, you know, it's doing things that really, you know, they weren't fully intended to do. There's some workarounds like the console compatibility. So you gotta understand that and understand that it's got some shortcomings. While that disconnect issue with the PxN is kind of a pain in the ass, you know, you've just gotta, you know, see what your use case and if it's something that you can deal with. With me, I don't use it that often, so it's something I'm okay to deal with. If you're gonna be like a hardcore PC, should I say hardcore PlayStation 5, you know, sim racer, and you're gonna, you know, try to get on Super GT, Kareth, you know, type level, then maybe you may want to invest in Fanatec. You know, you may want to spend the grand on that instead of the half price at 500. And then we go to Fanatec where, you know, you're paying a shit ton more, but the quality better be there. Like, I've watched all the videos, I've done all the reviews, you know, I've read all the reviews. You know, people say the quality is there. Well, we're going to see if the quality is there. If the quality ain't there, trust me, that video is going to be loud and clear, and I'm going to directly tag Fanatec, like at Fanatec in the title, be like, bro, what? Like, what are you doing? So, yeah, that's really what it is with these bases. These are my thoughts and these are my feelings on them. You really can't go wrong unless it breaks, and then that's just kind of luck of the draw. Not, you know, things break, but you know where we're at right now in the sim racing world, you've got so much new hardware coming out. The prices are good. The quality is getting better. You've got so many players in the game. You've got options, man. As a consumer, we have so many options that weren't available not too long ago. So just do your due diligence. That's really what it comes down to. Do your due diligence. Read and watch all the reviews, like this one. You know, like ones from Boosted Media. You know, Wilf, he does amazing, phenomenal videos and the breakdowns. Sim Race Garage, even though he hasn't done anything in a while, I hope Barry is okay. His videos, that's something that I would just throw on and listen to the background, his reviews and his breakdowns of everything. You know, that's great stuff to watch. Um, uh, there's so many others. You know, so many other people that are, you know, do review videos also of this stuff. So just go ahead and make sure you do your due diligence and double check the return policy on where you're getting it from. Uh, you know, if they have a really crappy one, I think Fanatec is like a 14-day return policy. You may have to make your decision rather quickly. Or if you're able to get something from like Amazon where they give you a month plus, you know, now with the holidays, you've got until next year, you know, you can go ahead, you know, use it. See, does it this really fit what it is that you want it to do? And if it does, awesome, you keep it. It's amazing. If it doesn't, then, you know, return it and then go back to the drawing board. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Whoo, we're on an hour here. Damn, I talk a lot. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank all 150 plus of you for subbing. I'm really trying to get the channel up there. Please, I mean, I'm looking at the analytics. We're getting the views, just not getting the subs. So please, if you know, if I'm earning your sub, please sub. I've got so much more content that's in here that I'm trying to get out, you know, and so much more stuff with hardware that I want to get out to you guys. So, you know, sub, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.